Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of This Week in an Hour. We're your hosts, Jackson,
Brad, and Luke.
All right, so this episode, we're going to be talking about
Boats!
our dream boats, like we said last time.
No, but we do have an update on the boats. Or the boat.
The boat that was blocking the Suez Canal is now unstuck, so the world economy can get back on track.
In a month and a half.
There were still around 350 boats jammed up there at the time they got the boat unstuck. So that's still quite a bit of boats.
Yeah, I'd honestly kind of love to be one of the guys that were a crew on one of the other boats, because you're getting paid OT to just sit around. They're probably like, well, we're stuck. The strawberries are going to go bad, so they're just chopping it up, you know?
They're just hanging out, playing cards.
Apparently,
Doing things.
some of them are fucking nice-ass boats. Like, they have, like, basketball courts and pools and stuff for their crew. So you know those guys, they're playing 21 all day. They don't care. Like,
Falling out.
hell yeah. Like,
All the practice comes
swimming. Michael Phelps in it.
Might be able to make a shot at the league.
Who knows?
We don't
This is
know.
the last time I'm going to be on a boat. But yeah, it's pretty wild. How did they actually, like, what was the method? I know that they took everything off of it, didn't they?
No clue. I heard
I
some
didn't
dude had a
see that,
plane
but-
with like chains and a couple Ford Rangers, but I think there was like some cement blocks there too, but I don't know if that actually
No,
is
I'm
what
pretty sure
happens.
they
Cement
stuck-
blocks in the bed, pull her out, good to go.
Pretty sure they stuck to the old excavator on the bank method.
Yeah.
And just
they just
kinda-
got like 20 on either side.
Basically. Well, they did actually, in 2016, they actually extended the Suez Canal, so I'm not sure if this was a
So that guy's an even bigger
previous
fuck up.
occurrence or not, but I also read that this is the 13th canal out of 14 in the entire world, like main canals that aid in the economic routes. 13 of them have been blocked, so this happens more than it should.
I think it's because the boats get bigger and bigger and the canals stay the same size.
Yeah, they're just pushing the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens. I think they always kind of flirt on the edge of like, is this too tight?
Yeah, they were also talking
Constant
about
problem.
they're talking about the whole getting bigger and bigger scenario.
It's a
but-
PG podcast.
But they were almost thinking like, should we keep getting bigger with the boats, because it's just causing more problems. Like disasters like this could occur more easily.
Lightheadedness, stuff like that.
What?
Yeah, it's true. There definitely could be a lot more problems caused, such as like this one here. Like someone's gonna take over and start regulating the size of those boats.
Yeah, somebody's gonna come down and be like, okay, enough's enough. 5 football fields. That's where we draw the line.
That's it. After 5 football fields.
You guys aren't Tom Brady. You don't need to be anymore. You're good.
Yeah.
So did you guys look into what your dream boats are, though?
No.
Chance.
I've always wanted to have like a nice sailboat. I think that would be.
Yeah, you come off as a real seaman. I can just see you now in those cute little pants and shirt. Get a white little sailor's cap.
Yeah.
Seaman Jackson out braving the waters.
You're painting a good picture.
Yeah, I'd like to think I'm pretty descriptive.
Yeah. Like a Mozart of words.
A lot of people actually
he's a
say
musician.
Words Guy Brad. Actually, I've been referred to multiple times.
Has a ring to it.
Yeah, words.
You
Guy
definitely
Brad.
didn't come up with it yourself, because it'd have more of a ring to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd probably go with like, I don't know, just like a small little fishing boat's good to go, really.
Humble.
Something to get out there. I can,
Just staying humble.
cast some lines.
I
With this big podcast money, you'd think I'd have a yacht, but no.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have
Are
a
you
yacht.
talking
but-
realistically or just like not realistically? Because like if it's not realistic, I'm gonna get a kick-ass boat.
If we're being unrealistic, I'm gonna get a 7 football field boat.
I'm getting a big cruise liner.
I want to pollute the earth. That is my goal.
I want the Walt Disney cruise ship, all to myself.
Yeah, I heard they're made in Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that factual?
Yeah. In the 40s, maybe.
Alright.
Oh, yeah, COVID.
Yeah, we didn't even end up actually finishing off the rest of the topics for today. So why don't you take that away, Jackson?
Okay, so I want to talk about 45% of countries right now say that COVID-19 is their greatest concern. I mean, you'd assume that, or you'd assume that that number might even be higher.
You would think.
Like,
Yeah, but I'd say if you have a country that like hunger is the issue, I think hunger is more important than COVID.
Yeah, I think it just depends on, like, it does kind of make sense. I would have thought it would have been like maybe 50% or more, but 45% is close enough. I mean, some of these countries, like, I feel like you can do a little bit more about COVID than you can about, like, someone not being able to afford to eat or something like that, or not having the resources to even eat.
well, in some countries they don't even claim COVID exists. So,
Well, there you go.
I mean, there's evidence.
but
Conspiracy theories.
so going along with that, like the 5 top worries for countries globally right now is COVID being the highest at 45%, then unemployment being 37%, followed by poverty and social inequality at 31%, then financial/political corruption at 29%, and then crime and violence at 24%. But
Well,
I
we can't be
mean,
bringing up Russia every podcast. Putin's gonna know us, man.
Yeah, we're gonna start attracting some KGB, ex-KGB
I'm
officials
sure
or
they're
something.
worried about our little podcast.
Yeah,
never know.
They don't fuck around.
Yeah.
But I feel like that the main one, like COVID being the top one, can contribute to all of those factors. Like it's caused a lot of unemployment and
Yeah, that's true too.
like poverty and social inequality.
I think
not
a lot
really
of I think
social
the places where
inequality,
poverty is like their main issue. Poverty was an issue before COVID,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
And like the same with like I can definitely see the unemployment and the financial ones being COVID related, but like the political.
Yeah, the political corruption one, I don't really think.
Yeah.
That's just, they've always been that way.
Yeah.
What did you say the second one was? The second highest?
Unemployment.
Unemployment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Worried
makes
about being
sense.
unemployed. It's the best.
Collect serve.
Well,
CRB.
for the
Thank
government,
you,
it's not
JT.
the- yeah, for the government, it's not the best because they have to pay the people who are unemployed.
That's how that works?
Oh yeah.
How do they make their money?
What do you mean?
The government.
Oh, that's a long story. They just print it.
Yeah, exactly. Just print more money. Idiots. Look at that. I just solved all those issues about COVID. Obviously, print more money to pay for more food.
If only it was that simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
I mean, look at Zimbabwe did it, and
Oh yeah.
everybody's trillionaires there. It's awesome.
And should we be asking the question too, like, should COVID be maybe a little bit more of a concern for some countries? Like, do you think maybe there's some countries that just don't take it serious enough that maybe it should be a bigger concern?
Well, yeah, that's
for
what
them,
I was
or-
saying. Like some of the countries that don't even acknowledge it, but
Some
like-
kind of, like I'd say though, if like their big things financials, like they might not even be able to afford to be concerned with
To
it.
deal with it?
Yeah, it's like it's out of our control. So why be
Yeah.
concerned with
Well,
it?
yeah. Like, if we can't afford to bring in whatever it is, like the safety precautions in order to
Yeah, so it's just like pretend it's
fight
not there.
COVID, I suppose.
But a good example of that is like the States. Like when COVID was first kind of coming over to the Western world, like they weren't. Well, Donald Trump wasn't really concerned
Why'd you say his
about
name
it
like that?
because he was a fucking idiot. But he wasn't really concerned about it, and they weren't really like taking it too seriously. But like now, look at them.
Yeah, they seem to think that their way of just doing a herd immunity by people dying was the way to
I don't
go.
even know if
but
it was like such a herd.
they just wanted. It was like, well, people will either get used to it or they won't. That's how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
half
I
of
don't
their
even. I think it was
views.
just more like the mentality of some people that they just figured like, oh well, I might as well just get it and get it over with, sort of thing. But
Yeah, and then I can still get it again, but whatever.
Yeah.
you know, it's,
I think they also found out the hard way in Sweden as well, because they had the herd immunity idea.
Oh,
And
really?
then there's other places that like commit it really early. And like New Zealand and Australia, they're doing amazing
Yeah,
with
I
it.
mean, those ones are kind of easy to just kind of.
Just lock her down.
Yeah.
Like New Zealand had full attendance sporting events like since COVID because they had 0 cases in their country.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, since they're an island, it's easier to
yeah, that's
isolate that,
exactly
like-
right. It's so much easier for them to just shut it off.
And who goes to New Zealand? So
Yeah.
it actually
I mean,
be,
like, New Zealand would be
I
a
would
sick
I
place
would
to go
honestly
to.
go to New Zealand over Australia just because New Zealand's basically Australia without all the fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I heard that. They
Yeah.
don't have all the just absolutely
I
banana
remember.
lands animals running around.
I remember hearing too that there was like people were like, "Oh, New Zealand is one of the highest crime rates in the world." It's because they have such a low population. If one person commits a crime, it's like a huge deal there.
They know them by name. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't believe it. It's like in small communities where like
It's just the whole
people are
country.
posting it on Facebook and like, I can't believe he would do such a thing. He was such a nice young man.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, hopefully we've been past the worst. Like with all
Yeah.
these vaccines coming out, I think we're towards
Kind of feels like we're on the come up.
yeah,
Like,
which is good, I guess. I have to go back to work. And then,
yeah, I know. And on second thought, maybe I could
we're
just,
gonna have responsibilities.
yeah,
man.
exactly. Won't be able to just sit around and
Podcast.
Do this, yeah. This just in, our podcast is getting canceled. We all have to go back to work.
not that I have a job anyways. Not that any of us have a job
Yeah.
anyways.
This is our job. What do you mean?
Yeah. How do you think I afford the yacht?
It's a lifestyle, dude.
All right, so coming off the COVID talk, when I was doing research for this podcast, I was looking at some interesting news in March, and I came across this headline. It was "Person dressed as Spider-Man climbs Norwood Bridge in Winnipeg."
Not to be confused with the real Spider-Man. That's where they had to specify that it was just somebody dressed as Spider-Man.
But I also
He lives in New
noticed
York. Everybody knows that.
after I found this article and I kind of showed it to you guys, I realized that this actually took place in 2018. So this week was the 3rd year anniversary of this happening. But I feel like we can still talk about it because it's not something that happens every day. Like that's
The reason that we couldn't tell that it wasn't this year was he had a mask on, so it was kind of confusing. It seems like it was COVID times.
But I was doing some research on the bridge itself, and it's 167 meters long, or 548 feet for you Americans out there.
This is riveting.
But
Go from boats to bridges.
that's quite a distance to climb.
So it's how. Are you talking? That's how long it is, or that's how high it is?
That's how long, and it's 40 feet high,
Ah,
like
okay.
from the road part to the top.
How many
So wait.
meters is that high?
I don't know,
Did-
however many the conversion makes
He
it.
just climbed from the base of the bridge to the very top.
So it kind of makes like an arch,
yeah,
and
paint
he
the picture
climbed-
for our viewers.
So it makes an arch, and it's kind of like mesh, like metal mesh, and he climbed from one side of the arch all the way to the other,
And does the arch stretch the entire length of the bridge?
and the arch pretty much stretches the entire length of the bridge.
Okay.
So that's that's an impressive climb.
It's called bouldering.
And yeah, he had no like safety equipment on or anything. He was just
Well,
free climbing
Spider-Man.
this, like.
Well,
But
he had the suit that Tony Stark made him on. So
no,
that kinda
this
helps.
was his original suit. His like
So
cloth.
he just
like-
had his hands, his
Didn't-
little sticky.
yeah.
Didn't you
sticky
say it was
hands.
like a 12-year-old or something? Like how? Is
No,
it
I don't know
older, or
how. No one knows who this was
This
because
masked-
obviously he
this
was.
masked
How
vigilante?
old is Tom Holland?
True.
In 2018.
He could have been.
12.
He could have been rehearsing for the role of Spider-Man.
That's
and-
true.
Or maybe it was Toby Maguire like living out his past life,
Maybe.
or the other Spider-Man, terrible one, Andrew
He who
Garfield.
shall not be named.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trash Spider-Man. If your favorite Spider-Man series is the Andrew Garfield series, bad take.
So
Okay, here we go. Who is your guys' favorite Spider-Man? There's one right answer to this, by the way.
you know what? I really like Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
It's the original one, COG.
Toby
No.
Maguire
Definitely.
I saw
doing that strut with the black suit on.
I saw the second
Baby.
one in theaters, but I didn't really.
They had such a good cast in the originals. Like they had a lot of good actors in it. I mean, obviously the Tom Holland one still does because it has all like the.
My favorite is whoever did the original voice for the original Spider-Man, the cartoon version.
Oh yeah.
That's probably my personal favorite.
And when was that actually? What year was that?
A while ago.
Oh, nice.
60s? 70s?
There's been multiple cartoons.
Did you watch that growing up?
On weekends, yes.
Yeah.
I watched some of the ones from the 80s growing up, and I really liked that one.
I
But
guess they're a lot older than me. I gotta be honest. It's.
Dude, it's reruns, bro.
I had them on DVD.
That's false.
Oh,
When we were kids, it was VHS, Jack.
pissing contest. I had
Well,
mine. I had mine downloaded on a hard drive.
Actually, I had a DVD player. at
Mine
a
were
young
on
age.
cassette.
Mine were on vinyl.
I had to twirl the reel myself. I pedaled on pedals and watched it with a projector.
On the side of a barn door.
Yeah, the cartoons were pretty good though. I remember.
They had a good, good story, good classic
I
cartoon.
remember there was the Hobgoblin, and he was just like a dirty looking Green Goblin. Like he literally looked like the Green Goblin that like lived in the sewer and didn't shower.
Yeah.
Like I could just imagine seeing him. I was like, that guy stinks for sure. Spider-Man's like, I don't even want to fight him. I have to smell him. Like, what does that even mean? Hobgoblin.
I don't know what the meaning of that is.
Maybe it's
but-
like a miniature version.
Or like
Hobbit
corn on the
Eviler
cob
version.
goblin.
Corn on the cob goblin.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the corn on the cob goblin.
He's just a big
just
corn on the cob.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you.
Just launches.
Shoots corn kernels
Yeah.
out of his arms. Like,
Just launches like corn on the cob at you. Just a whole thing. Husk and all. Just
yeah.
That turns out that's
Just an
Spider-Man's.
absolute-
That's his
yeah.
kryptonite is corn.
Yeah.
just an absolute piss missile of a piece of corn coming at you.
Oh no, it's in my eye. I can't see. Gets in his web shooters. Like, oh, Groot has decided to join the podcast. Not the Marvel character Groot. My one of my cats, Groot.
Shroot. Dwight himself up in here.
If he gets in my face, I swear to God, I'm gonna knock him out.
How dare you? We don't support animal cruelty on this podcast.
Okay, well, on the Spider-Man topic then, what is your guys' favorite superhero, I guess? Marvel and DC. Like one from each.
One from each.
One from each. Well, actually, the DC one's easy. Everybody just says Batman.
Batman.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay,
you
favorite character, bad or good, from both companies.
Well, I don't really know much about DC.
I think Heath Ledger's Joker wins. He was fucking...
He was really good.
He was awesome. Actually, Jared Leto's Joker. But no, it was unprofessional. Look at this recording studio. Come in for an interview and there's cats everywhere. I think one just pissed in the corner. Okay, yeah. So what is your guys' favorites then? We'll just do Marvel. We'll just do
I
Marvel.
just love Thor.
Thor.
Thor, yeah, he's pretty cool.
He's just cool. I love his powers.
I like Iron Man. I think he's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell.
Yeah. In case you were wondering, I am wearing the Edith glasses right now.
So Tony Stark glasses, pretty much.
Yeah.
They
I mean, basically, I am Tony Stark. Just
No free ads, please. Please remove the name of the
Sony
glasses.
Stark.
I'm talking about the glasses.
I don't think there are real glasses.
And then I'm trying to think what mine would be. Like,
Well, it doesn't
I
matter.
like
Thor's cool.
I like Spider-Man. Captain America.
He's literally just a god.
He literally. Loki's kind of cool though.
Yeah, Loki's pretty cool.
I don't know. Loki's kind of not
Considering
cool, and
he
is
is one of
shit
my
name for a
cats.
cat.
Unrelated, but I just think that would be a bad.
Come on, guys. Come on. They're so cute. Look at them.
They're up to no good.
No.
Cats are always up to no good. But Thor, definitely.
Yeah.
His long blonde hair.
Luscious locks.
Just
Yeah, you
luscious
just have
locks.
a crush on him.
Yeah, so,
You
I mean,
just
whatever.
like
He's
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Chris
Well,
Hemsworth is my
Hemsworth.
favorite Marvel character.
honestly like a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Got a little hot and heavy in here for a second.
Yeah.
Bro, we know.
I can feel that. We can feel the tension in the air right now.
Probably feel the heat coming off me.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Who's yours? You still haven't said anything.
He said, it's
it's between like Toby Maguire Spider-Man or Captain America, I guess. I'm trying to think of
America.
I just thought the movies were cool because it's like World War II, the first one.
Okay, so now that we're
Right,
done-
one more thing before we get off the Marvel talk. What do you think the best? You can't use Thanos because that's just the easy out. Best villain in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
best villain. Well,
Mickey Rourke.
I really like Loki. He's a pretty good villain.
Yeah,
I mean,
cat name.
he's like kind of good too, but I don't know.
He's like a little bit. He's an in-betweener.
Yeah.
What's the guy, the really old, like, decrepit-looking dude that's with Thanos? You know, the guy that just like he looks like he's like a million years old. He looks like a tomb keeper or something.
I
like.
can't remember what his name is, but he's like one of his like understudy type things.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds Deadpool.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Just literally the best. Now I'm thinking about
Which
it.
one?
Like number 1 or 2? Like what are you talking about?
He played Deadpool in X-Men Origins.
Oh
Wolverine,
yeah, he
and
did.
That was a
really shitty movie.
I didn't see that. I'm referring
Okay,
to
this
Deadpool
like he is
1 and 2.
Deadpool in it,
Yeah.
but then
He has
they
his
do-
mouth sewed up.
yeah.
So
Well, no, he's dead. He's not Deadpool anymore at that point. He's Deadpool when they're like in the scene that he has the swords, and then
he's not Deadpool at that point.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
No,
because
he's
they
not.
call him Deadpool.
He's Deadpool once he gets all those mutant
No,
abilities.
they call him Deadpool because he's
I
the
just watched the
agent.
video, or the movie, a couple weeks ago.
They call him Deadpool when they go into that place where the terrorists are.
Yeah, and then he becomes the pool because he's a pool of all the mutant genes.
Yeah, he was the Pool then. He was Deadpool earlier on.
Weapon 11
But
is
it's
the
so
secret project.
it's so dumb. He has samurai swords as Wolverine. Like he has it's like Wolverine claws, but he has like a samurai sword that comes out. Like it's so.
Yeah, so basically just Deadpool 1 and 2. Now that we're out of this rabbit hole of Deadpool.
Yeah, he's way better at Deadpool in those movies.
Yeah,
But
he's
yeah,
hilarious.
I'd probably agree. He is probably one of the best heroes
Yeah.
at that point.
I mean, I'd take him over Batman.
That's DC though.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dead-
I don't
Deadpool's
really like
Marvel.
DC
Oh,
anyways.
shit, I thought he was DC.
Oh, Brad, no.
And I suppose if we bring the X-Men into it, like Wolverine's a pretty cool
Yeah.
Yeah.
character.
Well, now that Disney has the rights to the X-Men, they're going to have to recast him, though. I think Hugh Jackman was a great Wolverine.
I don't know.
but-
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know who's gonna replace him.
I don't know if he can. I think you just gotta kill the character off and never bring it back.
Well, they already did in Logan, but...
That's the thing. It's gonna be like, well, I'm sure they'll reboot X-Men now that it's with Marvel, and then they'll like intertwine it somehow.
Yeah,
But
it'll
like,
probably be completely just ruined. So
I just
that'll
wonder,
be
like,
cool.
well, it's just like Iron Man. Nobody else can play Iron Man.
No.
Like Robert Downey Jr.
He is Iron Man.
That's literally what you think of. Like,
Yeah.
I could not picture somebody else as Iron Man. It'd be
I
terrible.
know.
I mean, I guess that's just for our generation, though.
Yeah.
Sure, the next couple ones.
Yeah.
after they-
Yeah, but Iron Man's written out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe now, so, like, I don't think there's going to be...
Well,
he
and
might come back in, like, a...
No, but I'm just
older
talking about like
movie,
any
like
other
a-
thing. Like you could say the same thing for Thor.
But you never know too. They could end up doing the thing that like the comics do, where there's like
The multiverse.
Yeah, and then like there's another timeline that Tony Stark is alive, but he looks
Yeah.
different. Well, it's kind of like Dr. X and X-Men when it was what's the guy's name? The older guy.
Yeah, they had
He was gone in the they did like they went back in time and then he was young.
They did, like, the First Class series,
yeah.
those 3 movies. I actually like those movies. They're pretty
But
good.
he's like somebody that I can't see somebody else really being Dr. X.
Yeah.
Because he was like the original Dr. X. But it's gonna be interesting. I think
By the time the new X-Men movies come out, he might have passed away in real life, so...
yeah, you never know. It's there's this cool comic series though where it's like Marvel. It's a Marvel comic and there's like a zombie apocalypse. That can
Oh, yeah,
affect-
my brother used to read those.
Yeah, that would be really cool if they did a movie like that.
I'm pretty sure they're bringing in a show to Disney Plus, like, kind of like that. Like, they're bringing in that What If show,
Okay.
and I think that's
It's
gonna...
not like Deadliest Warriors. Like what if
like,
fucking-
what if Thor was... what if Thor was Tony Stark? Like, I don't know, just stuff like that.
Like, what if Thor and Iron Man fought? Because that would be a pretty cool TV show.
There's
Well,
series that do that. Rooster Teeth has a show Tuesday night game fight, isn't it, or something? Or
I don't know.
it's some like
I don't
who would
really
win thing.
watch them anymore.
But they do that. It would be like Thor versus Iron Man, but then they do like science in quotes behind it to like calculate the actual winner.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
Thor would win in Thor versus Iron Man because he's literally a god. Like,
Mm.
you can't
Yeah.
really kill.
But it's like the whole thing. Like they did like one where like Superman loses to that guy in Dragon Ball Z. Who's like the main guy in Dragon Ball Z?
Is
I
it
never really watched.
Goku?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that-
He would beat Superman, and people get all fucking mad about it.
I mean, Superman's invincible, so.
Yeah, but they do the whole thing with like, because the angrier that guy gets, the stronger he is, and all this, and like it worked out that.
So
like,
he's the Hulk.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's the whole thing. There's no definitive answer. It's just fucking
Yeah, it's just
something for people to argue about for hours, and then
For eons.
yeah. But yeah, fun stuff.
We got really off track there. All right, we got a little bit off topic there. What's our next? We're going flights to return to the East Coast.
Yeah, so
Big news,
this is actually huge news because at this,
especially for
was
one of
it-
my roommates in particular, who might actually be getting his job back at the airport. Congratulations, bud.
Oh, really? Nice.
Enterprise rent a car. We give you the tools to be your own boss. No free
Yeah,
ads.
shout him out. Give a name drop.
No, we don't name drop.
So for every other
except for our
episode.
first
This is
episode
a
when
classy podcast. There's no name drop.
when you mentioned the what was he, a 5'4" individual?
There was no names given, just a description.
5'4", 5'8", 5'2", maybe. So yeah, I can't remember if it was the beginning of COVID or if it was like sort of like in the summer. Or...
I don't think it was fall. I think it was the fall.
So like I know WestJet and was Air Canada part of this too?
I believe so. Yeah.
The article that I found was dealing with WestJet, but they said that WestJet will be restoring their flights to 6 airports in the East Coast that they suspended. Oh yeah, here it does say last fall due to the pandemic. So that's good because a lot of people were kind of upset about that and they thought they weren't going to be returning, but
No. I think they had probably planned on returning. I think it was more so like, let's just shut down for a bit, save some money.
I mean, it was a smart business move for them. Like,
Yeah.
it
I mean, nobody
made
was-
sense
yeah,
to if
nobody
you're
could
not
go
flying
anywhere.
anywhere, if you're not using your assets, like you don't want to be.
A lot of
Why
them,
burn up?
a lot of the airlines converted some of their planes to cargo planes to try
Oh,
and
really?
make some money. Yeah, and a lot of them were like taking Amazon packages and stuff like that just to have some income rather than none.
Well, that makes sense because
Yeah, because people are buying so much stuff online.
Well, and there was
Yeah.
there's another Canadian company that they had bought a bunch of Air Canada's old jets and just made a cargo company, and their stock price like quadrupled from
Really?
over COVID because it's so much more
Yeah.
online shopping.
yeah, I could see that. All right, so our next topic is something funny. I was going through YouTube, and I don't normally go down to the news section, but I was just, I was like, oh, well, look and see what's here, see if I can find anything interesting for the podcast. And this week, a video popped up. It said, a fishing rod used to save Ukrainian boy stuck on floating ice. It was only a minute-long video, but so it depicts this guy speaking Ukrainian, of course, or Russian or whatever they speak there. I think it's is it Russian?
Yeah.
So it just pans his camera over out into the middle of the lake, and there's just this like 10-year-old boy standing on about a 3x3 foot piece of ice. Just like, how do you get out there in the first place?
Yeah, how is that even become a
And
situation?
He casts his fishing rod. He puts a weight on it, casts it out, and the boy grabs on. He reels him in. That was a catch of the day for sure. He reels him into the shore, and he saved him. But like, how do you get yourself in that situation? Like,
Being a stupid kid. That's the only people it could happen. He was probably just playing out on the ice and then it broke off and he went down the river.
like the lake that he was floating out in, you could see there was barely any ice around. It was like pretty much open. So I don't know, like, what on earth makes you think that you're gonna go play out on that
the kid
body
looked really
water.
young. Like, the kid looked like he was like 5 or 6.
And
So
like,
he was probably.
where's his parents? Like, do they just not care about where their kid is? Like, you wouldn't think they'd be looking for him if he was missing for a little while. If he went outside to play, like.
Yeah, especially down by some water or something.
Yeah. He just kind of floated
Just
away.
a weird situation. Yeah. Well, what if it was? Here's a crazy situation. What if it was his own kid, and like they were there watching, and he started floating away, so he went and grabbed his fishing rod, threw it out to him, like tossed the line out to him, and then reeled him in. I guess it didn't really. Did it
didn't say
specify?
that was his kid, but
No.
that would be quite the interesting experience.
Potentially even like the more plausible explanation to this story, but not. I mean, I would not be surprised either if it was just some kid that was out playing and thin piece of ice cracked off and he floated down the stream, and then some guy who just so happened to be out fishing caught him. Like,
I mean, it didn't say it was his son, so I'm just picturing like here the St. John River, some kid goes out in Fredericton, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go play on the ice, have a good time. Goes down, plays on the ice cracks. He starts floating down the river. Then there's me down at my parents' house, like, oh look, there's a kid floating down the St. John River. Like, what are the odds? Dad, get the fishing rod. It's just such a weird like scenario to be in.
Such a different situation.
It was a nice cast, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I'm a fisher in some ways, a recreational fisher, and that's
Me as well.
takes a bit of practice to be able to cast that precisely to the point where you cast it to the kid's hands pretty much.
That was also a great catch by the kid too.
Yeah. Give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
Hashtag hands team.
He'll be on Team Russia here soon enough.
Whoa! Team Ukraine, come on.
Yeah, I think a lot of them get thrown into that stuff though because it was former Russia and all that, and they'll represent, But I thought after our little DQ conversation last podcast, Best Blizzards, I thought of another little fast food question for you. So you're gonna have a meal. You choose a hamburger, cheeseburger, whatever, fries, and then a dessert. But you can mix and match from any fast food. Where would you get each one from, and what would it be?
Ooh. So like we're gonna do like
You
could pop.
No pop dessert. So you could be like a Big Mac, Wendy's fries, and a Blizzard.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So like, what would your guys' combo be? It's like the ultimate fast food. If you can make a fast food restaurant, this is like where you're gonna be the best around.
Brad, you go first. I gotta think about this. Like, I don't.
I'll give mine so you guys can
Yeah.
think, because I've actually got to think about it. Well, I just kind of sprung it on you. I'd probably go Wendy's, Dave's Double, and then fries, probably A&W fries. There's some bomb fries.
Yeah, they're really good.
And then a Shamrock Shake, of course. But if we're not talking seasonal, then probably a Blizzard.
Yeah, no.
Oh, but then I forgot about the flamethrower burger.
Yeah, see,
but that's recency bias for
Yeah.
sure. We had some flamethrowers today. So maybe like flamethrower burger, A&W. But see, I don't want to use A&W twice, but the A&W root beer floats are.
I don't really like those.
Oh, I love them. They're good.
only had them like once or twice.
Yeah, I've had a couple like homemade ones, but I don't know, I've had a couple from A&W, but I mean they just taste the same, and they're.
Yeah, it's like a little vanilla root beer type thing. But yeah, I'd probably Shamrock Shake is definitely the dessert. That's
If I could pick, I'd go McDonald's fries.
really.
Yeah, enjoy those.
You like the thin cut.
I do. I'm a thin cut guy. I don't like a lot of potato in my.
You're more for the crunch.
I'm more of a crunch guy.
You don't like a lot of potato in your potatoes.
I don't like a lot of potato. No, but like if you're gonna have like even like
Less
like,
surface area.
Yeah, like if you're gonna have like big chunky fries, not fun. Potato
Like steak cut.
Yeah,
Like
the potato just overpowers everything else. I find in those. It's the same thing when you have like homemade hash
Okay,
browns
well,
and
how
stuff.
about this? I'll
Can't
let
be
you
too
throw
big.
in anything like that. Onion rings.
Yeah, no,
poutine.
yeah, for sure. I'm still going McDonald's fries with. It's either between the flamethrower burger or a Baconator. Scored out.
Baconator doesn't have enough veg on it though. Is the
Yeah,
issue.
that's why you add pickles.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Yeah, I could see it.
And then no one's gonna see this coming, but Subway cookies as my dessert.
Oh, actually, yeah, white macadamia nut or M&M?
Chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip.
Like
Well, that's
the
why you go
OG.
M&M. It's basically the same thing as chocolate chip, but you get that.
You get a little extra.
You get them
color,
M's.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now that I brought in though, I'd probably go onion rings over fries any
Yeah.
day. But
I
it's
prefer
hard,
fries.
It's hard to find good onion rings. Like no fast foods have that good of onion rings. It's like restaurants have good onion
Yeah,
rings.
restaurants do. That place we went to when you were down this fall. I think that was really good.
Yeah, they had good onion rings there. But for fast food, DQ probably has the best onion rings. A&W, it's literally like basically raw onion rolled in salt. Your heart hurts as you eat them. But so Jackson, what's your combo?
So I'd probably go the A&W, like the what's it called? The Chipotle burger.
Don't know if that's a thing.
Is it like the teen? No, the matzo burger. Matzo burger. The A&W matzo burger with no tomatoes, obviously.
Obviously, you wouldn't want that.
No.
Too healthy.
I'm not insane. Like, come on. McDonald's fries.
Leave a comment, tomatoes, yay or nay.
So matzo burger, A&W, McDonald's fries, because
You guys are crazy.
Just a classic.
McDonald's just
Crazy.
they're so good. They're so salty and just
They're the least healthy. I love them.
they clog my arteries so well. Like
So efficient.
And then for dessert, I do enjoy those Subway cookies, but I'm probably gonna have to go with a Blizzard.
Yeah.
I think.
Shamrock Shake, come on.
Well,
you were heartbroken you didn't get one.
Yeah,
this
but
year.
see, if I was getting a meal, I'd do Shamrock Shake as my drink with the meal, and then I'd get
True, it
the
is a
Blizzard.
Good God,
Blizzard.
imagine
It is a
that.
milkshake, though.
Imagine that though. Dummy in a large Shamrock Shake and then a large Blizzard. You're just in
No,
the
it's not
saltiest fries.
They had to be large.
That's right. Just
Yeah, medium Shamrock Shake, small, medium Blizzard.
medium Shamrock
Small, medium.
Shake. Medium Shamrock Shake, extra large Blizzard.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna reduce one, you gotta
Yeah.
enhance the other one.
As long as it adds up to an
You
extra
can't have
extra
two
large.
mediums. Like, come on.
As long as I get to absolutely fill myself with at least a gallon of ice cream. Ice cream like food, I'll be good.
As long as I can feel my arteries clogging, then you know it's a
That's
good
true.
meal.
I want to feel my heart working after I eat. It's like sledge in your veins.
And then, salad on the side just to stay healthy.
Fuck,
Not
no way. Fuck off.
No,
What salad? McDonald's salad.
I would never get a fast food salad. Like, those things are nasty.
They're gross. They make them in the morning and they sit there all day. They're
You know what? I might actually. This might be an under. This is coming out of left field here. Or is that that's the saying, isn't it?
Yeah,
Left field?
coming out of left field.
Yeah, I might actually go with the. What's the spicy chicken burger at KFC? The one the Zinger.
Oh,
The
yes.
Zinger.
I forgot about the Zinger.
Is the Zinger?
I'm
is it-
switching
is
to
the
the
spicy
Zinger.
Zinger the one like that's where they have the 2 pieces of chicken?
Nope.
As the
that's
bun?
the double down.
The
That's
double
the-
down. You want to talk about clogging your arteries? Oh
No,
my! I had one of
here's-
those one time. I
here's
don't
the
think
issue.
I've been the same since.
So
in
they're
years.
they're seasonal, and they've done 3 different versions. The first version's the one you're talking about. It was amazing because it was like 2 pieces of chicken with bacon and spicy mayo between
Yeah.
it. But and then the second one, it was different. Like it was smaller, and then the third one they did it with waffles. It was a chicken waffle chicken.
Oh.
It's like no, I want the original. But yeah, that's that's the least healthy fast food thing that there's been. It was like 2,000 calories
I
or
do
something.
not
I
like
don't.
that.
Yeah, I don't remember when they released that, but
Oh, it was a while ago.
Yeah, the Zinger.
the Zinger
is the sandwich
yeah.
to go with.
Yeah, I'm switching to the Zinger. I forgot about KFC in general.
Yeah, because it's not good. That's why you.
No, the
it's so
Zinger-
good.
no, I
The
don't-
Zinger.
I
No,
had the
Their
Zinger.
chicken sucks. They're like Mary Brown's all the way if you're buying like a bucket of chicken, but Zinger, oh my god, you're
I
sweating.
wouldn't get a big crunch, but the Zinger I'd get.
Oh yeah, you gotta get the Zinger, all spice, all the way.
And actually, they have these Kentucky flatbread wraps. Like it's just like a flatbread or a piece of chicken wrapped in flatbread. And if you get the spicy one, it's like the Zinger sauce.
Ooh,
You get the Zinger. You throw a couple of those on the order.
it sounds pretty good.
So good.
A couple of them.
Yeah.
Just go-
1, 2, 6. We don't know. Where do we
Yeah.
stop? Nobody knows.
I eat till I pass out.
They're like $2, so I mean,
Oh, okay. So they're just like small little
Yeah.
things. Oh, I thought you meant like you're eating multiple full sandwiches.
No, yeah, eating with Jackson's fun. It's you wait until he gets the meat sweats, and then eventually he just tires himself out, and just falls asleep.
It's food comas.
Food comas. And then he has a food baby, and then he's back to 160 pounds. It's amazing.
I've never weighed that low.
The metabolism is strong with this one.
I can
Hey,
sense it.
I weigh about 175, so I'm a healthy weight.
How much do you weigh after you eat the whole bag of those Hershey chocolate things?
Okay, I do not eat a whole bag of those at one time. I eat like a handful.
Okay.
Hershey's Crunchers, they're amazing. You should definitely buy them. Not
No free
sponsored.
ads.
I don't weigh myself after I eat. I weigh myself like once a month at most. Like, I don't really care. I know
I weigh
I'm
myself
doing
every
fine,
day.
so
Yeah. I haven't
Every
touched a
single
scale in
day.
months. I refuse to believe what I've become.
Oh, well. I do every day in the morning.
yeah. Fun,
See.
fun little fact.
Yeah, craziness. And then I hit myself.
Pluck out my eyebrow.
All right, so to finish it off this week, did you guys have any sports talk or?
Well, there's been a couple things going on in the old NHL. Big one. Montreal Canadiens acquire Eric Staal in a trade from the Buffalo Sabres.
That guy's still in the NHL?
He
Still
is.
there.
Wow.
Still has a
Doing-
huge helmet. Still being productive. Kinda.
It's just a globe skating around on the ice. He's still. I think he's doing very good for what he's getting paid.
Yeah.
There was actually right before he went to Montreal, there was talks that he was going to go to Carolina so he could play with Jordan again.
Jordan finish out his career where he began. That'd be nice.
That'd have been cool. Have
That
them
would've
get
been.
Mark in there too.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Maybe. Watch out.
Is he still in the league?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he plays for Detroit.
Which one's the oldest one?
Eric.
Eric?
It goes Eric,
Eric.
Mark, then Jordan.
Or
Yeah.
maybe it's Jordan Mark. Regardless.
Jordan.
There's always Jared, the youngest. No one
Yeah.
cares about him.
I think
though.
he had like 3 games.
Yeah,
didn't
I
he?
think so.
Jared Staal, good player, but Pittsburgh definitely kicking themselves that they took Jared Staal over Jonathan Taves in that draft.
Jordan.
That's kind of like a how
Oopsie daisies.
yeah.
Imagine.
Imagine Pittsburgh with Jonathan Taves on it. Crosby, Melk, and Taves.
That'd be scary.
Just ridiculous. Anyways, I think it's a good pickup for Montreal.
Yeah.
They need They Healy's the
definitely
only
need some
competent
Centerman.
like
well,
big center. Well, he's the
you get
only
Philip
like
Deneau in there.
yeah. Deneau's not having the best season this season
No,
so
but
far.
he's still a
But you're getting a big-bodied veteran that's going to be able to help the other centers
Yeah.
for sure.
Definitely
Kotniemi and Suzuki could definitely use some
little bit
veteran
of
presence.
a little bit of mentorship probably, and how to be a long-lasting centerman in the league.
Kotniemi can remember anything after getting. Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Isn't he on Pittsburgh now, though? Not on the Canadians?
Who, Kotniemi?
Yeah.
No.
No,
Oh.
No,
Who's the guy? Who's on Pittsburgh now that has like a weird last name?
that narrows it down.
That's Young.
Is there any Finns or Swedes on
I have
Pittsburgh?
no clue who you could be talking about.
Yeah, it's
Like the guy with the mole.
no, yeah, that's Kotniemi. He's on.
Oh, I thought he
he's
was
on
on Pittsburgh now.
Nope.
No. Still Montreal.
Nope.
Oh,
They-
weird.
I would hope they don't trade him after how high they picked him.
Yeah, I know. That's
How
why
far
I
off the board they
thought.
went.
Because didn't they send him down and then?
Well, he played his first season in the NHL, and then the second season he played a bit, then went down to the AHL, and then he was back up.
Yeah.
And now he's like, he's been in the NHL all this season.
Oh.
But
Shows
back to
my knowledge.
Eric Staal, and speaking of boats in the Suez Canal, there's actually a picture of Eric Stahl's helmet stretched out over the Evergreen ship there, and it was said somebody put Eric Stahl's helmet getting stuck in the St. Lawrence River on its way to Montreal.
He
But I
does
thought
have
that
quite
was
the
awesome.
dome on him.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's
I
a
figured
good
out
one.
who it was. It was Kasperi
Kapanen.
Kapanen.
That's
Oh,
from
yeah, yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah.
That's what the
I knew
confusion
it was
He got
K long last name.
it. Really shows the Toronto media because they hyped Kapanen
Kapanen.
like he was like amazing Pittsburgh guy. You haven't heard anything about
No,
him
I think
since really.
he's
He's a good player, but he's not what Toronto's media portrays him
No.
to be. I think he's good playing with Malkin or Crosby though.
Oh,
That's
for
what
sure.
they
It'd
need.
be a great help with those guys. But yeah, I think Montreal definitely benefits from that trade, and I mean Buffalo gets some cap off their books, and
They're just
hopefully maybe I don't know. Buffalo has been an absolute mess.
what it comes down to is where is Hall going to go? There's no question. I don't think there's a question at all. Hall is going to get traded. It's just where is Hall going to go?
Yeah,
I think it's going to be an American team.
it's gonna be Colorado.
You think so?
I want it to be.
Oh.
I think he's a good fit there. Colorado's got a lot of room, cap wise, and I feel like they could. I mean, it's a year.
Their
it's a
top
rental.
6 would be disgusting.
Yeah,
with
their
all
top
of them.
6 would be.
Because he wouldn't be first line on Colorado. Would he?
It depends on if you want to play him with McKinnon and Rantanen, or if you want to maybe spread the love, or do you put Landeskog down on the second line, or do you move Taylor Hall down on the second line to play with like your
Kadri and
I don't know. You could throw anyone.
But even there, that's a good line. One real quick thing too about Eric Staal. I saw a thing. Instead of having to isolate for 14 days, they're doing an exception for athletes for 7 days.
Oh really?
But they have to get COVID tested throughout.
Yeah.
Just so I mean,
it took forever for Line and
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Pierre-Luc Dubois to get all their stuff settled in, and
Yeah, and that's the thing is there's been an issue like do Canadian teams trade with American teams because you trade but you have to wait 2 weeks to get them. When I'm pretty sure when the players went to America they don't even have to isolate.
No, I think because I remember Line wasn't I think he was only missed like a game or two, but Pierre-Luc Dubois was out for a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Before you started with Winnipeg. But yeah, no, I mean Buffalo. I think you're definitely gonna see probably a lot of pieces being moved and around out of there.
I'm gonna guess Hall gone, and then like the other people you're giving up though are like part of your like Hall and
like that's
Staal aren't really
they're not part of your core, not part of the nucleus that you brought in to win a championship. It's not your Eichel, it's not your Reinhardt, it's not your Dahlin. I could see Rasmus Ristolainen being traded.
That would be
because he's complained about wanting out of there before. Like I think it was last year, the year before, he complained about not liking playing in Buffalo, which sucks because I mean it's so frustrating because that team should be so fun to watch and so like fast and exciting, but they just I don't know what it is that it's like there was a curse brought down upon them. They just can't win games. But
yeah, I don't know. They have to decide, especially like if Eichel demands a trade, the team's done. You're gonna have to just sell.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to like it's probably gonna be a quick rebuild. Like you're probably gonna get like what you're getting in return for Eichel is probably going to be.
And that's the thing too is like
lot.
who's going to give up what they have to for Eichel?
Exactly, and it was like all this talk not too long ago too about Sidney Crosby getting traded to Colorado. Like, why? Like Sidney Crosby's a great player and everything like that, but why the heck are you gonna give up like couple first round picks and Bowen Byram for Sidney Crosby to have like a year and a half, 2 years of
it'd be dumb to pick up.
I mean,
even though
you know what, like he's good enough that he could completely shove this up my hoop and be like a very efficient player in the NHL for the next until he's 40. Like, but there's also a chance he gets hurt or he has another concussion, or like he just doesn't want to play anymore by the time he's 36, and then you're gone out of a great prospect and good picks.
Yeah.
So,
it's the issue I think with the Eichel trade is like. A team that's willing to give up as much for Eichel is it going to be worth enough? Because you have a team that's like on the cusp of playoffs and all that. Once you give them Eichel, their first round picks aren't going to be worth what you want them to be worth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you never know though. I mean, he could not fit in. Like he could get hurt. Like you never know what those first round picks could become.
It's like the St. Jose Carlson trade. Where
you never know what those picks can become. They could be something good. They could become lottery picks. They could become.
I think you want tangible. Like tangible assets, so not just a pick. Like
no,
you need prospects.
You need top tier, like top end prospects.
Yeah, and also I suppose we didn't really talk about this last week was the change in the draft.
Yeah, that's true. That was not too. I think that was last week. I mean, we can definitely touch on it now because it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's so basically only the first 2 picks are lottery picks now rather than the top 3.
Yeah.
And teams can only advance 10 positions.
Which is nice because you hate seeing teams go like you hate it but you love it until it's your team. Like I remember years ago when Colorado was abysmal. I think they had 48 points in total the whole year, and they ended up drafting 4th overall, which I mean, honestly, in hindsight, not bad because they got Cale Makar instead of like Nico Hischier or Nolan Patrick. I mean, I think they won that for sure, but also for like those some of those like guaranteed years when you're guaranteed like your Austin Matthews or like your Connor McDavid's, like your I shouldn't say like Connor McDavid's, but when you're guaranteed like those number 1 or 2 overall like unreal studs, and then some team moves up from 13th and gets it, or like even the Rangers getting Lafreniere, which I mean he hasn't really been super great, but he's also like 18 years old and a rookie, so what can you expect from him?
But like that's a team like. It's teams that have potential to make the playoffs that played in play-in rounds that are getting.
Yeah, that like the fact that the Rangers got that first overall pick to me was just ridiculous.
Yeah, and they had a second overall pick the year before. But another thing that they brought in is that this is basically to screw over Edmonton is you can only have 2 first overall picks in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean imagine having that many first overall picks like they did and still like not being great.
Yeah, I think it worked out for them in the end with
McDavid. Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, but.
I think it was a needed change.
Speaking of Taylor Hall going places, what about Taylor Hall back to Edmonton?
I don't think he liked. I think he wanted.
That's what I said last week.
I know, but I mean, I feel like you just combine his speed with McDavid's speed, and I feel like that way it gives Draisaitl the opportunity. Like you don't always have to rely on those two. Like I feel like that's a little bit more offensive power, and like it kind of gives Draisaitl the ability to kind of drive his own line consistently.
But do you split? Oh, I suppose it's their power play time that they always play.
Yeah,
McDavid and
I mean,
Draisaitl
I think they kind of jumble them up every so often.
If they need points, they're on the ice.
Yeah, exactly. But I think like if you throw Taylor Hall in that mix, I don't know. Like
it didn't work last time, though.
I know, but he didn't really play with McDavid though. Like he left.
Well,
like
they had one season.
They had but that was.
I suppose he got hurt, and it was his rookie year.
Exactly.
So yeah, it could be.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Taylor Hall needs to do something, or else. I mean, he might actually be a cheap signing in regards to how good he is.
Yeah,
because he's had a down year the year before.
Exactly. And then he got this $9 million prove yourself contract sort of thing, and he hasn't really been proving himself. So like, I think he's got to figure it out. It's only going to hurt.
I'd be skeptical signing him on a long-term deal though, because then you get into the whole Jeff Skinner situation where you're.
For sure, he's not worth. I don't want to pay him long term, lock him up for a lot of years. But the thing is, he has the potential. I mean, he won the what is it there? The Hart, yeah.
3 years ago.
3 years ago, McKinnon should have won it. Not a biased opinion, just facts. But yeah, he won.
It's analytics.
Like, he won the Hart a couple of years ago. Like, so he has the ability to be that like. I wouldn't say he consistently be like a 90-plus point guy, but like a point per game, 70 to a point per game, like that shouldn't be out of the question for a guy with his.
It's just how much would you pay if you were a team?
If he consistently put up 70, 80 points, I'd give him his $9 million.
But would you go anything over 9?
No, not long term. Not definitely not right now.
Yeah, I think if somebody was to trade for him with the thing that you sign an 8-year extension with us for like $8.5 million, because it's the whole thing. Like I'd pay him 9 for the next 4 or 5 years, but you have that tail end. If somebody could get him for like an $8 million by 5 or 8 years or 8.5 by 8, then it'd probably be a really good look.
Yeah.
But
depending on his productivity.
Yeah, well, and that's the whole thing. You take the gamble. What would be an interesting team to see pick him up would be Carolina, I think.
You think?
Could you imagine him on that team? Because they're already a wagon.
Yeah,
underrated wagon.
They got the D, and they already got the defense there, so.
And like they have scoring forwards, but Hall would be just a nice
little piece for sure.
Play him with like Teravainen, and it'd be. If he's not scoring, it's his fault at that point.
Yeah, true. I think there's also been some talks about him going to Boston too.
That'd be interesting. They would have had the first and second pick from that year play for them.
True.
I knew that's another thing. You don't like Tyler Seguin?
You know, it's something that I don't like him. You know what I don't like? I don't like when I'm playing in NHL 21. Don't for the ads. And Tyler Seguin is somehow putting up 115 point seasons consistently every year, better than every player. It makes no sense. Anyway,
he's a sim player.
He is a sim player.
And that's like
my short little rant.
Going back to like, so if say you're Joe Sakic, you're drafted from Colorado, you have the first overall pick. Do you take Tyler Seguin or Taylor Hall with how their careers have gone so far?
They're both like they both like I don't know. I think you could really go for either or. It just depends if you want a winger or a center. Like they both have given like
I think they've had very similar
they've
trajectories.
had very similar trajectories where they started out hot and they were like producing, but they were kind of like young and dumb, and then they had their like a couple years where they've matured, but also had great seasons, and then they've also like had seasons where they've just both been abysmal, like underperformed hard. So I mean, it depends if you're looking for a center or a winger, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's really all the hockey.
Right.
Yeah, I
So-
guess we gotta maybe we should just call this hockey talk instead of sports talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's not really much
Well-
else for sports going on right now other
well,
than like basketball.
UFC,
Other than,
but I don't think many people
March
are into that.
Madness.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a big
Yeah.
sports watcher. I'll watch the Super Bowl, maybe some football game, maybe some hockey games.
Well, a little sports update. Had some loss on the bet side for the UFC this weekend. Was
Well-
not a good pay-per-view. Let's just say that.
So if you guys want to donate and help support the show,
Support Luke's gambling addiction.
It's a real problem.
We're laughing, but I can feel it inside.
all right. So
Who's gonna pay for my food after this?
I think we're gonna wrap it up here and maybe go get a bite to eat. So
Town.
if you guys have got this far, we appreciate it and thank you for all the support. If you guys want to go follow our Instagram page, This Week in an Hour, that would help us greatly. We have a link on there to our link tree where you can find all our other socials and
We're
our
coming
Spotify and Apple once we get approved.
Yeah, we should be a week to 2 weeks. We're on Apple. We're already on Spotify. Everything's gonna be uploaded to YouTube as well.
Yeah. We aren't going to full release to the public until we're...
Friday.
Well, yeah.
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
Yeah.
That's going to be our release date. What day is that? What day of the week?
It would be the April 2nd.
All right. So, yeah. We're going to find us on Spotify and then eventually on Apple if they get their shit together.
We love you, Apple.
yeah.
Please.
Please.
Don't listen to this one.
And YouTube. And, yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, see us.
Peace.
Have a good rest of your day.